Brought to you by Penguin. Daughter of Chaos by S Webb. Read by Lucy Walker Evans. Before the earth and the sea and the all-encompassing heaven came into being, the whole of nature displayed but a single face, which men have called chaos. Ovid, Metamorphoses, translated by David Rayburn. Prologue. The Cave. Danae's breath danced like little ghosts in the gloom. She rolled away from the dark belly of the cave and looked out onto desolate whiteness. She was in a crevice halfway up an indomitable mountain at the end of the world, shrouded in a freezing fog of never-ending clouds. No one had ventured this far for centuries. No mortal, anyway. Squeezing her eyes shut, she fought to recapture the warmth of her dream. But no matter how hard she tried, she could not go back. The cold of the mountain was in her bones. Surrendering to reality, she untangled herself from her bag and turned her attention to her throbbing hands. Biting down on the tips of her goat-hide gloves, she tugged her fingers free. Blood oozed from the cuts she sustained during the climb. Sucking in a sharp breath, she placed a hand on the wall and pushed herself up, leaving a smear of red. On her knees, she shuffled deeper into the cave, away from the biting flares of wind. Her mouth tasted of salt. She lifted a bloody hand to her cheek and realized she'd been crying. She dreamt of a beach. Plumes of white sand streamed behind her brothers as they raced down to the rock pools at the edge of the sea. She'd been sprinting to catch up, desperate to be the first to capture a crab. Her sister watched them from the bank, Alea's chuckle skipping across the breeze. Danae barely recognized her younger self running along the shore. Her childhood felt like it belonged to someone else, as though she were harboring the memories of a stranger. She looked down at her battered hands and thought of what they'd done, what she had done, to get here. She'd been 18 when she left Naxos. She must be almost 20 now. It felt like she'd been gone for days and decades all at once. She thought of her parents, her brothers, and her little nephews. Through everything, they were her anchor. She'd clung to the hope of returning to them, but now when she tried to conjure their faces, they slipped through her memory like smoke. She adjusted the lion hide draped over her shoulders. The beast's jaw yawned over her head, its fangs rested on her temples, and its shaggy mane flowed down the length of her back. It was said to be impenetrable to any blade, torn from the body of the infamous Nemean lion by the greatest hero who'd ever lived. Her stomach twisted at the thought of Heracles discovering it stolen. Her need was greater than his, but she couldn't stop imagining the expression on the hero's face the moment he realized she betrayed him. Enough, she muttered to the empty cave. She reached for her bag and tugged out an ink-black dress, then set about slicing off strips of fabric with her blade. Once her fingers were bandaged, she inspected her arsenal. She had a knife, a water skin, the shard of omphalos stone, her pipe, a near-empty pouch of herbs, a purse of drachmas, her midnight cloak, and 1.5 stale biscuits. Her stomach groaned. After a breath of deliberation, she ate the half biscuit, then tilted the water skin to her lips. She swore. The water was frozen. Pulling it under her furs, she gasped as the icy vessel stung her skin. Hopefully the heat of her body would melt it, or she would die of thirst before she reached the summit. Her eyes wandered to the last biscuit. Then she noticed a mark beside it on the cave floor, a groove scored into the rock. She moved the biscuit to reveal a set of claw scratches. Scouring the ground, she found more. Her brow creased. What bird would make a nest in such treacherous conditions? She crawled deeper into the cave, hope flickering in her chest. If there was a nest, there might be eggs. The light dwindled the deeper she moved, but the cave was deceptively large at the back. The ceiling expanded upwards into a kind of
Sample complete. Ready to continue?